Hey guys, Wyatt Claypool here. I'm going to cut right to the chase. So, there are rumors swirling about that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is going to resign from office. Some of the rumors say he's just going to resign from office this next week. Some are specifically saying on Monday. What do I believe? I don't really even know at this point. I could see Trudeau resigning in this next week. Monday, not quite, because we now know there is a Liberal special caucus meeting scheduled for Wednesday. I don't know why Trudeau would resign from office on Monday and then lead a caucus meeting on Wednesday, or have somebody lead a caucus meeting on Wednesday. You don't resign and then wait 2 days to give everyone all the details. You just give everyone all the details. So if he was to resign, my gut would say that if it was to happen this week, it would be Wednesday, not Monday. But the tweet that is setting the internet ablaze right now and kicking off all the rumors is this comment by Lawrence Martin, who has worked at the Globe and Mail as a political columnist for a very long time, since 2002. And he says everybody's gearing up for Trudeau's resignation announcement expected by Monday. Because he says Monday, I do have to give it some credence. That's the date that Michelle Rempel Garner is banking on. She says Trudeau may announce decision to leave before Monday in this article she published on X. And I've read through her article. I generally agree with her analysis of it, that this would be the perfect way of also giving Jagmeet Singh and the NDP an out to delay the election further. They don't have to vote no confidence, because we're going to let the Liberals either have some more time for their new leader to get settled into office, or more time for the Liberals to hold a leadership election. Either that, or Justin Trudeau, and this is maybe the theory I lean to a little bit more, is going to basically challenge people to take him on at the Wednesday caucus meeting. Because really, who is actually going to vote for the Liberal Party just because Freeland is the leader, because Anita Anand or Francois Philippe Champagne or Dominic LeBlanc? Mark Carney? Christy Clark? Who cares? I've said it before. All these people have beige personalities. They add nothing to the Liberal Party. Justin Trudeau is a terrible prime minister. Obviously, I think that I'm a conservative. I've never liked him, but at least he's a character in a certain sense. He's somebody who's compelling, not always compelling in the right way, because everyone hates his guts and he's a complete turd in how he treats people. But at least you want to talk about him, where the worst thing you can be in politics is hated and nobody even cares to talk about you. And that is who Chrystia Freeland is. Plus, there is an entire TrueAnon cult of Trudeau cheerleaders online who will turn on the Liberals if Trudeau is removed, and especially replaced by Freeland, because they just put so much in the bank on Freeland being a bad person and cheering Trudeau on for getting rid of her. That's something that actually happened. It's absolutely wild to witness. Another thing, and again, it's absolutely plausible that Trudeau could resign. Let's just highlight some of the reasons why quickly here. Not only is the Quebec caucus part of it, it wasn't true that the Quebec caucus wants him to resign. Part of the Quebec caucus wants to resign, as in most of them. Obviously, all of them don't want Trudeau to step down, because Trudeau is one of those Quebec MPs, and a couple other Montreal Liberals and some safe seats are also still backing the guy up. But we have this gentleman right here from South London. I believe his name is Peter Fragiskatos, who wants Trudeau to step down. That what just came out yesterday. And then Kirk Lubimov here highlights that Ben Carr, Liberal MP from Winnipeg Centre, also wants, or South Centre, also wants Trudeau to step down. These are two really big MPs to be losing, not because they're massive figures, although Ben Carr reasonably is a decently well-known MP. The problem is that it's showing that the drift in terms of Trudeau and the caucus overall is getting further and further away. If it was just the Atlantic caucus, maybe it's just the Atlantic MPs are freaked out and we can ride this one out and they'll eventually come back. But when it turns into the Quebec caucus also wants him out, or most of them, and then someone from South London wants him out, someone from Winnipeg wants him out, someone from Calgary, George Chahal wants him out, which is kind of laughable. George Chahal should be out of Parliament himself, since he cheated to get in by removing literature from his opponent during the campaign. And, but if when people all over the country want you out, there's kind of a consensus inside the Liberal Party that you're the wrong leader to lead them into the election. But again, I go back to point out there is no right person to lead the Liberals either, because the problem is the Liberal Party. Polyev And just as I have and other people have pointed this out in the Jordan Peterson interview, well, it's very nice all these liberals think Trudeau's doing a bad job now and he needs to go. But when did Trudeau start doing a bad job? Because if you look at all the Liberal Party propaganda, which you could argue is still in the control of Katie Telford and Justin Trudeau, it's still repping everything that the Liberals have ever done. So when did the policy get bad? Or are they going to go on the line that the policy is great? It's just that Trudeau is toxic. Well, why is Trudeau toxic? It's almost like the policy is bad, making people's lives worse, but you guys don't want to acknowledge that. So you want to replace Trudeau, but not actually replace Trudeau. Also, they can't replace Trudeau. All they can do is shame him into maybe leaving office, but shame isn't really a word Trudeau knows. He is a shameless man who is very full of himself and likes basically collecting shiny objects the way Jagmeet Singh likes to. He likes collecting titles. He likes knowing that he's prime minister. Even if he's doing a bad job, he likes being prime minister more than he likes the country. But here's a propaganda video that they released just today on Trudeau's X account. This does not strike me as a guy who's not ramping up to be the leader in the next election. So take this for what it is, I guess. But he says more than 1.2 million Canadians like Bev have gone to the dentist because of the Canadian dental care plan. Here's to getting even more people the care they need in 2025.
No, I was just over at Truro Community College for healthcare.
Oh.
Primary care and dental care and all those things.
Oh, I got approved for dental care.
There you did.
Yes, I
did. The system works.
Okay, this is such weird fake energy. Like, nice lady, but yeah, everyone qualifies pretty much for the universal dental care program because it's universal. I know some people don't. It's a really stupid policy because it's going to reduce the supply of dental care in favor of giving some people heavily subsidized care, which means dentists don't want to take it because the dental care is not, it's not worth it to accept their public dental insurance because it doesn't pay the dentist pretty much anything to do it. Someone even told me it was like a liberal minister who has a connection to the private company who is basically, implementing the public insurance scheme. So that's, another form of graft, but we're used to it in the liberal government.
I did. I just got my letter.
In the past 3 weeks, 100,000 seniors have gotten dental care, many for the first time.
Oh, first time ever for me.
Decades, yeah.
I never had dental care in my life.
By the way, it would actually be very easy to get dental care if Stephen Harper was still the prime minister. Guess what? Dental care per month, if you go to Alberta Blue Cross, which I assume there's probably an equivalent in every province, but Alberta Blue Cross, you can get dental care. And this is without packaging it with any other type of care, car insurance, any other sorts of extra health coverage that you can get, because obviously we don't actually have a free healthcare system. We have a public option, which basically tries to cover general necessities, but doesn't really do it fully. But in Alberta Blue Cross, it also does like eye stuff and whatnot. But Alberta Blue Cross, I can get dental care covered per month with 2 teeth cleanings a year for $30 a month. That is pricey compared to a Netflix subscription or whatever. But considering that if you packaged it, it'd probably only be costing you $20 a month or whatever. And people used to have way more money in their pockets to pay for this sort of thing when Harp was around. What's the actual utility of the public version, which costs way more money to implement because of the bloated bureaucracy? And it's probably going to make it less likely that people are going to be able to see their dentist, because the dentist is going to be weighed down by a lot of people who are barely compensated at all, or basically barely compensating for the labor the dentist is putting into doing like teeth cleanings and whatnot. It's a long, complicated thing. It's so annoying that the liberals think this is like a keystone policy people are going to vote for them on.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
And I'll freaking check people.
Well, then you cheap. What's the secret?
Hey!
Yeah,
What is the secret?
Well, your family has a secret too.
No.
Dark secrets, in fact. But yeah, honestly, though, watching that clip, is Freeland that charismatic? Again, Trudeau's slimy. He's a terrible person. Also, Freeland couldn't interact with a normal person like that. Mark Carney couldn't interact with a normal person like that. And speak of the devil, Mark Carney, he's also ramping up for a leadership race. So the Mark Carney has reportedly been going around calling up Liberal MPs, basically seeing if they will back him in a leadership race, which in my mind, is the stupidest person they could possibly make the new leader is Mark Carney. You know why? Because nobody knows who he is. People know the name, but nobody has an affection for Mark Carney. This is like the Liberals because they wanted intellectual credentials because they were a very credentialistic type party. They like people with degrees. They made Michael Ignatieff their leader for the 2011 election, and he got stomped on because nobody wants somebody who's smarter than them, not literally smarter than them, but thinks they're smarter than you to be the prime minister. Obviously, the prime minister should generally be a fairly smart individual, a much more, higher than average IQ. But Mark Carney gives you the feeling that he enters the room thinking he's smarter than you. And that's the main thought on his head. He wrote this article the other day for the Globe and Mail. It was the year 2024 in review, plus a looking forward to 2025. It was the most dull thing you will ever read in your entire life. It is full of dumb consultant strategy firm type phrases about how if we unite, the future can be brighter than ever type language. And it's like nauseating. This is why people don't like these liberal like elites. I don't even usually like to use the word elite or establishment because they tend to be overused to the point where they mean nothing. But he truly is like a Bay Street, Toronto, Laurentian elite where he where he talks in platitudes. He talks in platitudes that he believes that you should value because he tells you that you should value the sorts of things that he puts out platitudes about. I think I have a poll here. I want to find it. Somebody did an analysis of how the Liberals would actually fare if they swapped out Trudeau for different leaders, and it's not looking great. It's, in fact, probably some of the worst options I've ever seen on the table right now. I'm going to try and, I think it's on Polling Canada. If I cannot find this, I apologize. By the way, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to find this stuff. I don't think I can. Oh, yes. Here we go. Yes, it's from Polling Canada. So good job, Polling Canada. Even though it's run by an NDP guy, he does a good job. He has this for, because people were basically being polled on which leader they like and how well the Liberals would do if they implemented each of these leaders, installed each of these people. And based on the Angus Reid polling numbers, if they brought in Chrystia Freeland, the party would in fact be doing better than they are currently with Justin Trudeau. I don't think that would hold up. They would win 52 seats. Melanie Joly, the closest minister I always find to Trudeau, basically gets very Trudeau-like results with only 25 seats. Carney gets 14, Dominic LeBlanc 12, Francois-Philippe Champagne 11, and Anita Anand 6. And presumably everyone else not on this list would perform somehow even worse than Anita Anand. But I'm going to give the pleb credit for bringing this up because it's very funny. Know who I nominate to be leader along with the pleb. It's time, guys. We got to do it. It's time for Mark Gerritsen. Mark Gerritsen is the leader we need right now at this time in Canadian history. We need somebody who is just not even trying to be appealing to the public. We need somebody who reminds me of a sweaty water buffalo, who reminds me of Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks in the US. It's Mark Carney's time. As the pleb said, with Trudeau expected to resign in the coming days, I'm officially endorsing Mark Gerritsen to become the new leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. And you know what? I do too. Mark Gerritsen, it's time. The Liberals need to go balls to the wall, or they might as well just dissolve the party, because if we're going to drag this next election out any longer, we might as well make it a little bit funny by having Mark Gerritsen play a big role in it. Anyways, also he looked really upset the other day when Trudeau shuffled his cabinet a couple weeks ago and he wasn't actually given a senior position. That guy looked like just beside himself. And I felt bad for him at the time because that guy has tried the hardest in the Liberal caucus to be noticed by Trudeau and given some senior role. He's like deputy House leader, which basically means nothing. It means when the House leader's tired of lying to the Conservatives asking questions, they pass the script off to Mark, and then he starts freaking out and waving his arms and trying to challenge Kevin Vaughn to fights in the hallway. That's what Mark Gerritsen is. Anyways, so that's it for me today, guys. Will Trudeau resign? Should he? I don't even know. Like, again, I'm a conservative. I want the Liberals to fall on their face. At the same time, if I put myself in the shoes of the Liberal Party, who is even replacing Trudeau, and would it be better? That's really the real question. And if I'm Trudeau, at that Wednesday caucus meeting, I would basically throw down the gauntlet and say, show me any of you guys could actually do better than me. Show me anyone knows who you guys are. Show me that you can beat me in a leadership. If I was Trudeau, I would run in a liberal leadership race. I would declare a new liberal leadership race, and then I'd run it myself just to show I could stomp everyone else. Again, does Trudeau deserve to be prime minister? No, never has. But if I'm Trudeau and I'm a massive narcissist, I would do it that way. So anyways, that's it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, leave your prediction. Do you think Trudeau is going to be stepping down or not? Sign up on my website, WyattClaypool.com, linked in the description below, as well as pinned at the top of the comments if you want to be on my list for getting nomination recommendations around the country. Whenever there is a nomination race or there is a leadership race around the country, I'll try and pick, if I am interested in a candidate in that area, recommending good people. If you're in British Columbia, I would buy a BC Conservative membership. Make sure that if you can attend the AGM in March in Nanaimo, because we need a very conservative board to lead the party forward, because it is not the time to be softening things and trying to become more like the BC United. They took a dirt nap for a reason. No time to start sort of softening around the edges of policy and the way you do things. And then, again, leadership race in Manitoba, leadership race in New Brunswick coming up for the progressive conservative parties in those ridings, those provinces. Wally Daldrich is very good in Manitoba. I have people, constantly pestering Chris Austin that he should run in New Brunswick. He's great. Used to be the leader of the People's Alliance Party, and now he's in the Progressive Conservative Party. A lot of good stuff going on in 2025. Trudeau and the Liberals are eventually going to be out, so that's always something to be optimistic about. And if you always want to support the channel financially, you can always donate to the legal fund. The Give, Send, Go link also description below and the comments. See you guys later.